Alright, hello everyone. In this meeting, we group 2 that is consists of Asya Oliulandari, Johanna Sakina Daila, M. Azlan Rifai, and Nisa Nurlitawati will explain our material about tax sections. And as you can see here, we've got several submaterial that is divided to 4. The first one is STP or Surat Tagihan Pajak, then for the tax paperwork or Surat Paksa Pajak, and also administration sanction and criminal sanction. So, let's jump to the material. Alright, first thing first, I will explain to you all about this material here. It's STP, or we can call it in Indonesia with Surat Tagihan Pajak. Surat Tagihan Pajak itself is a note or mail, or in Indonesia we call it with surat, with intentions to collect the taxes or giving the administration sanction in form of interest or fine to the related party. And as we can see here, STP or Surat Tagihan Pajak will be given if the related party do these things, such as first, taxpayer didn't pay the yearly income or PPH or pajak penghasilan or pay it less than the determined tariff. The second one is taxpayer paid less the tax because there is miswrite or miscalculation in the report. This is because our country using the self-assessment system that makes a taxpayer need to calculate, pay, and report their taxes payable independently. The third is taxpayer gets sanctioned in form of interest or fine. The fourth is PKP or pengusaha kena pajak didn't make a tax invoice or making the tax invoice not in time. The fifth is pengusaha kena pajak didn't fill the tax invoice completely. The sixth is pengusaha kena pajak report the tax invoice not in the range of the tax issuance period. And the seventh is PKP or pengusaha kena pajak is failed to make a production and has given the tax refund. Alright, as for your information, with getting STP or Surat Tagihan Pajak, someone can get sanctions too. And here's the sanctions imposition based on STP or Surat Tagihan Pajak. The first one is administration sanction in form of interest 2%. Taxpayer need to pay the interest 2% per month maximal in a range of 24 months since the due date of the taxes or the end of tax period, or in the range of taxes year until there's a publication of Surat Tagihan Pajak upon Surat Tagihan Pajak that is published because the income tax PPH or pajak penghasilan in taxes year didn't get paid or get less paid, or from the Surat Tagihan Pajak investigation that shows the taxes get less paid because there is miswrite or miscalculation. The second one is administration sanction in form of fine 2%. It's 2% fine from the tax base that is imposed on PKP or pengusaha kena pajak that is making tax invoice but reported it in not in time, or PKP didn't fill the tax invoice completely or report the tax invoice not in the range of tax issuance period. The third one is administration sanction in form of interest 2%. 2% is from the tax bill amount counted from the surat pengembalian kelebihan pajak that is published or issued until surat tagihan pajak terhadap pengusaha kena pajak is failed to make a production issued and had already given PKP the value added tax income. Alright, I think that's all from me. We'll jump to the next material.
Okay, I will explain about the next material. So the next material is first tax paperwork. What is first tax paperwork? First letter is means of collection tax. The first letter was issued because the amount of tax that still has to be paid has not been paid by the tax insurer according to the specified time period. It is processed based on tax invoice letter, underpayment tax assessment letter, underpayment tax assessment letter additional payment, correction decree, objection decision, decision appeals, and judicial decision that cause the amount of tax that is still must be paid more. The period in question is 1 month from the date of issuance of tax collection letter, underpaid tax assessment letter, assessment letter, additional tax underpayment, decision letter of correction, decision letter of objection, appeal decisions, and review decisions, or 3 months for taxpayer, small business, and taxpayer in certain areas. Tax collection by first letter regulated separately in Law Number 19 of 2000 as an amendment to the Law Number 19 of 1997. Next is the forced tax paperwork in law. The definition of a forced letter has been regulated in Article 1, Number 12 of Law Number 19 of 2000 concerning collection of taxes with forced letters, which reads as forced letters are orders to pay tax debt and tax collection fees. Meanwhile, according to Rules G 2005, namely a letter issued if the taxpayer does not pay off his tax debt until the due date. Next is the characteristic of the tax forced letter. Number 1 is a direct forced letter can be used without the aid of judicial decision and cannot be used to file an appeal. Number 2 has the same legal position as the gross deed, namely a civil court decision that has permanent legal force. Number 3 has a dual function, namely collection taxes and billing fees. Number 4 can be continued with hostage collection actions. Since of a forced letter is number 1, the tax bureau does not pay off the tax debt and a warning letter or other similar letter has been issued to him. Number 2 is against the tax bureau. The billing has been carried out at once and all at once. Number 3 is the tax bureau does not meet the provisions as stated in the decision on the approval of installments or postponement of tax payment. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
The next matter is the type of tax sanction. In general, there are two types of tax sanction, namely administrative sanction and criminal sanction. For the administrative sanction will be explained by me, and for the criminal sanction will be explained by my friend Nisa. Administrative sanction. Administrative sanction is the payment of losses incurred by the taxpayer to the state. According to UU number 28 tahun 2007 concerning general provision and taxation procedure, the payment of these losses can be in the form of fines, interest, and interest payable. And the first type is fine sanction. Fine sanction is given to the taxpayer who commit violation or error in tax reporting. The violation of the taxpayer can be like not reporting or late in reporting the tax. The amount of the fine imposed varies depending to the type of tax reported. And here is the example of tax sanction. If we are late in reporting the VAT periodic SPT, then we have to pay fines for 5,000 rupiah. The next sanction is interest sanction. Interest sanction is given to taxpayer who commit violation or error in tax payment. Interest sanction will be imposed if the taxpayer doesn't pay the tax or late in paying the tax. The amount of the interest imposed is determined per month depending to the violation. Interest sanction is based on KUP Article 9, Paragraph 2A and 2B. In Article 9, Paragraph 2A, discuss about the amount of fines imposed on taxpayer who pay past due. The interest rate is 2% per month calculated from the due date until the tax payment date. And in the paragraph 2B, discuss a fine of 2% per month that will be given to taxpayer who just paid taxes after the due date for submitting the SPT. And here are the other example of interest sanction. And the last sanction is interest payable sanction. Interest sanction is given to taxpayer who violate tax rule in material terms. For example, providing wrong information in the calculation of tax payment will get penalty and have to pay 15% of underpaid tax. The sanction makes taxpayer have to pay tax with the amount that is multiple from the original. And here is the example of providing wrong information in the calculation of tax payment. Let's say that the correct data shows that we should pay a tax of 10 million rupiah, but we falsified the data and then changed the details regarding income, and in the end, we only paid for 8 million rupiah in tax. This means that we have underpaid for 2 million rupiah. If we get caught for falsifying the data, then we will be subject to an increased sanction and get penalty to pay 50% of underpaid tax, which means that we have to pay for 4 million rupiah. That's all for me, and the next material will be explained by Nisa.
Criminal sanctions. In addition to administrative sanctions, criminal sanctions also threaten those who commit violations or mistakes. Criminal law is applied because there are indications of violations, accidental or criminal acts intentional in paying tax. Violations or serious mistakes committed can cause loss to the state. These violations and crimes can be in the form of data untruth, data hiding, data falsification to not depositing tax. Criminal sanctions are the government's last steps as an effort to enforce tax compliance. First, criminal fines. Tax sanctions in the form of criminal fines are given to taxpayers, tax officers, and even parties who commit violations. The amount of the criminal fines is accordance with the violations committed by the various parties above, causing losses to the state. Second, criminal case fee. Tax sanctions in the form of imprisonment are given to taxpayers, tax officers, and even third parties who commit violation. Imprisonment as a substitute if the violator is unable to fulfill the criminal fine imposed. Third, prison. Tax sanctions in the form of imprisonment are given to parties who commit crimes. Imprisonment is the treatment to taxpayer or tax officer who commit crimes that are detrimental to the state. In contrast to criminal fines and imprisonment is not threatened to third parties. Some examples of violation of law and regulation taxation, especially in the general provision and tax procedure, are described in the following table. Pasal 41C ayat 3. Setiap orang yang dengan sengaja tidak memberikan data dan informasi yang diminta oleh Direktur Jenderal Pajak dalam menghimpun data dan informasi untuk kepentingan penerimaan negara dikenakan sanksi pidana kurungan paling lama 10 bulan atau denda paling banyak 800 juta. Pasal 41C ayat 4. Setiap orang yang dengan sengaja menyalahgunakan data dan informasi perpajakan sehingga menimbulkan kerugian bagi negara dikenakan sanksi pidana kurungan paling lama 1 tahun atau denda paling banyak 500 juta. Pasal 41A. Setiap orang yang wajib memberikan keterangan atau bukti yang diminta oleh Direktur Jenderal Pajak pada saat melakukan pemeriksaan pajak, penagihan pajak, atau penyidikan tindakan pidana di bidang perpajakan tetapi dengan sengaja tidak memberi keterangan atau bukti atau memberi keterangan atau bukti yang tidak benar, dapatkan sanksi pidana kurungan paling lama 1 tahun dan denda paling banyak 25 juta. 41B. Setiap orang yang dengan sengaja menghalangi atau mempersulit penyidikan tindak pidana di bidang perpajakan mendapatkan sanksi pidana penjara paling lama 3 tahun dan denda paling banyak 75 juta.